Pictures show what would happen if all humans disappeared at the same time. Yeah. Basically, if Thanos just went, alright, screw you, every human gone.
I am inevitable.
I think what would happen if it all happened at the same time? Planes would start falling out of the sky. Car crashes, alarms, explosions, everything go into chaos because there are things that people need to maintain, of course, that only humans can do. Chaos would happen in them moments. And then there would be some calm, like a moment of calmness, and then the reactors, like nuclear reactors we have, they would, of course, they would explode as well because there's no one there to maintain it. If every single one went, that's the planet gone. So it wouldn't really be like, I don't know, nature taking back over. Well, it might. It depends on really like how much damage every reactor could cause to the planet. But yeah, a lot. That's kind of freaky. Thing is though, what if you weren't on Earth?
Hear me out, you little. Just hear me out, okay?
What if you're like in space and you somehow survived that? Can you imagine that feeling? Just you're the last one. Could be kind of peaceful if you think about it. Ever wondered what would happen to the Earth if all the people on it were to suddenly disappear? No, me neither. But I bet you're thinking about it now, aren't you? Yeah. And if the thought has piqued your interests, then you might be happy to know that someone has created a video with a bit of a timeline about things will play out. YouTube channel Aptura shared the cheerily titled "Here's What Would Happen If All Humans Completely Disappeared," complete with somewhat grim images showing the world in all its human-free glory. As I said, yet nature would take over and it would look beautiful in a weird way. In like a strange post-apocalypse and all that. I think there's so much beauty in it because nature, how it's taken, how they think nature would take back over. Like in like some movies or even like The Last of Us, if you ever watched that or played that. But yeah, the eeriness though would be there. And also some electronics would still be running somehow. It depends how far in the future it is. And that's probably all you would hear. You wouldn't hear anything. You'd just hear animals. Maybe a faint humming noise, maybe because like some electronics. But that's it, really.
It's 9:41 a.m. You've just woken up and brewed yourself a cup of coffee. Outside your window, you see the normal bustle of cars honking at a busy intersection, people waiting in clumps to cross the street, either mouthing conversations you can't hear or scrolling through their cell phones. The clock strikes 9:42 a.m., and all of a sudden, for reasons unknown, you and everyone else in the world vanish completely, without a warning and without leaving a trace. Your dog is barking feverishly, sniffing at the puddle of spilled coffee in a broken glass that is shattered all over the spot of the floor that you just stood in a mere second earlier.
I think what scares me the most, if this actually happened, I feel like, even though I've disappeared, so I wouldn't know if I would be feeling anything, but I can imagine like everyone's pets. Like the cats, yeah, they're fine, but dogs and all that, I feel really bad for them. Because they have to adapt quickly or they'll end up, yeah, makes it really sad if you think about it. Not the doggo. I didn't like him anyway. It's good that they killed him.
Buddy, you're my best friend.
Oh no.
The streets outside are now littered with horrific traffic accidents and electrical fires caused by the collisions of newly abandoned cars. Those planes that were flying through the clouds will stay in flight for a few more hours until the fuel runs out and gravity pulls them back down to Earth and they land in explosions. There's no one left to call for help, no police sirens in the distance, just smoke, sparks, and electrical fires until eventual total silence.
Yep.
This is what would happen to our natural world if all human beings disappeared suddenly without leaving a trace. All 7.8 billion of us. Throughout the first day of our absence, all of the fossil fuel plants around the world would shut down in rapid succession without humans around to refuel them with coal or oil. These shutdowns would lead to electrical blackouts all across the globe, causing our world to go rapidly dark, grid by grid. If you were to look at Earth from space at the end of the first day of our disappearance, The only two cities that would still have electricity would be Las Vegas and New York.
That's not
On
surprising.
day 2, New York City would lose power, and at some time around the 36-hour mark without us, their entire subway system would completely flood due to the loss of manual laborers who pump around 13 million gallons of water out of it every single day.
Wow.
After 30 years, the 25,000 space probes we have positioned in space
Yeah.
will become visible to the night sky, soaring above the Earth like shooting stars,
Falling
before
back.
gravity finally pulls them to the ground where they'll crash and burn due to the absence of battery power.
Yep.
50 years after our disappearance, formerly domesticated parrots would still remain traces of human speech.
Oh yeah.
75 years and 600 million automobiles we left behind would be nothing more than withered down skeletal heaps of their former selves.
Covered in moss.
100 years after we're gone, underground running water would corrode the metal structures that hold up the city streets, causing the
Collapsing
vegetation-covered
everything.
roads to cave in on themselves and turn into
collapsing
mid-city
everything.
rivers, like a gothic ghost town version of Venice.
But yeah, so basically, in a longer version of what I just said, yeah. Wow. With no humans around, the animal kingdom would start to spread out, with all manners of small mammals heading into our abandoned homes, while things may be less fun for our domesticated four-legged friends, who are likely to be used to having their food neatly placed into their bowl by humans several times. Yeah, they wouldn't survive. Meanwhile, the power outage would mean that electrical fences at zoos would be inactive, meaning animals that really have no place in our towns and cities are now free to roam, like the scene from I Am Legend. With the tight lions and all that. That would actually happen around here as well, in where I live, because I've got a zoo about, it's about, half an hour away from where I live. Yeah, there's a zoo. So, by my place, it's going to become some elephant shithole or something. Yeah, probably. So, like, the trees and fauna there, they would take over and all that. Everything we made would collapse, except for, like, the major big structures that were made to last. Forest fires would destroy coastal cities such as Los Angeles a decade after humans disappear, while cities such as London and Amsterdam would be flooded, according to the Aperture. 3 decades after humans upped and left Earth, without a trace, satellites would of course go crashing and burning down. With batteries completely drained. As more times pass, man-made structures such as the Eiffel Tower, Statue of Liberty, and bridge and skyscrapers would fall, making the whole planet look like very much like the final scene in dystopia movies. Still, at least, if this ever does happen, you won't be around to see it.
Piece of junk.
So yeah, it's quite a scary thought if you think about that, ain't it? Okay, that was today's weird news, everyone. Scary thought, really, ain't it? Like, all this destruction that's going to happen if we vanished. It's brought out like a new sort of like fear or phobia for mine. Like, I'm fine being alone, but the whole world vanished. Like, everyone on Earth vanishes but you. It's like the fear is like all these things could happen, and of course where you are in the world, you can't get to them places in time, could you? To probably just stop it. And the thing is, would you even want it if you're the last person? Let me know, guys, what you think. Like, if you were like the last person on Earth because everyone else suddenly just vanished, what would you do? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today. Don't forget to leave a like to help support this channel, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao for now.